Okay, welcome to round two of the monoset tournament. We've randomly picked Seaside to start off with, and then the loser of each game will decide the next set to be played. So the board has only one village in Tactician, and it has no trashing and Sea Hag on board. So Sea Hag is going to be a big deal, and with just the one village, it looks like it will be some kind of big money or slug strategy. So the silver is easy to buy on the 3-4 opening here, and the Sea Hag is also easy to buy. There's no mystery about what you should do here. It's just going forward, what do you do? I expected Tactician to be still good here, just the single one. You double Tactician, that is only possible with treasuries as virtual coin, and there's a navigator that you could play. So that is the total source of virtual coin you could get, which isn't great, especially in a deck full of creases. So we both go for caravans on the next four here. For me, it is to see the Sea Hag as soon as possible to be able to hex him. So my opponent bought a tactician, and I almost followed him here on the $6 hand. But I considered Wharf and gold as well here. And in the end, I decided the gold was better than the tactician or the Wharf right now. I don't want to draw the tactician and the Sea Hag together and have to give up playing the tactician. Whereas if I see the gold and the Sea Hag, then that's not a problem at all. So that was my thinking. I can pick it up later, especially now that I have the gold. It's a lot more reasonable that I will get to the tactician. And as it turns out, that was a good call on my part because the Sea Hag does turn up with the gold here. So had it been a tactician, I would have had to either given up a Sea Hag play or given up a tactician play. None of which you really want to do. My opponent gets their tactician in here and comes up with 6, which is enough for their first gold, I believe. This will be my second here. Again, well, it could be my second, but instead I stopped to get a tactician here. It could have also been a Wharf. Wharf looks like a big card in this matchup too. Not so much Ghost Ship because you could just put your good stuff back and they probably won't hit you the following turn. So I now have a tactician and 6 here. Could be Wharf, but I opt for a gold at this point. I do have the draw in the tactician and some caravan. So basically, whenever we have 4, we are choosing to buy a caravan over a silver. And it seems good initially, but it might land you into some problems, as we'll see later on here with some of my turns. So 6, again, I could go for gold, but still thinking about whether Wharf is better at this point. I believe my opponent has a Wharf, so I'm thinking about that. But 6, I do go for the gold, just saying to myself, okay, I'll get 5 at some point, then I'll buy the Wharf when I do have 5, right? While I have 6, while I have the opportunity to in this, messy game where there's little control over what you put in your hand, I'll take the gold right now. So there here my tactician comes at a good time, just 3 coppers in hand, no problem discarding that. However, with the many caravans, what could happen, what you will see happen in my hand here, well, I have 9 and 2 buys here, so could go straight for province, but I stopped to build a little bit more, picking up a Wharf and could be caravan, but I think the silver is more valuable than the caravan. Because, so this goes back to what I was saying, I don't want to play 4 caravans, say, and then it draws me into my tactician, but I have $8 alongside it. That is an uncomfortable position to be in. Do I play the tactician still, or do I take the province? And of course, it depends on the board state. So here you see an example of that, right? So this is quite a good hand. There's a lot of money in it, but I'm going to give up that and opt to play the tactician instead. So the curses are done, and I won the curse split, which is lucky of me. I won it 6-4. And here, my opponent played a Sea Hag and got rid of a curse from the top of my deck. Usually after the curses are done, you don't play Sea Hags. So I didn't play mine here because I don't want to return the favor. There's a curse on top of his deck, I would like to leave it there. And also, he hasn't started greening, with it. So the Sea Hag would put him one card closer to a new shuffle. However, he's still buying gold and other action cards. He's not buying green cards. So I'll just make him see those useful cards that much faster, which I don't want to do at this point. When he starts to go for points, then I'll be more inclined to play my Sea Hag. So here 5, like I said, an ample opportunity to pick up a Wharf, and I do pick up a second Wharf. We are now at a province each. I have an extra Wharf, and I don't know, maybe the money situation is about the same, as well as the caravan situation. So this is what you want with your tactician, right? You want to play a bunch of caravans, then play a tactician. However, yeah, uncomfortable position. I'm not going to throw away a province just to play the tactician here. I'll take my province, and hopefully that tactician could put in some work later on in the game. So at 8 for my opponent, we're going to get a couple provinces each. Now, however, I do have the advantage with the curse split. So now there, my opponent started to buy green cards, is why I played the Sea Hag. Also, it would cause a shuffle, which means hopefully he had good cards in hand, and it looks like he did. His Explorer's in hand, so that Explorer will miss the shuffle now, which is what, 30 cards. His deck is 30 cards, so that's about 5 or so shuffles he won't see his Explorer for, so that's great. He also had $8, which misses the shuffle but allows him to buy a province. Whatever, so we are running out the provinces here very quickly. We'll go for duchies very soon. He buys one, I buy one now. So, and any future Sea Hag that I see now, I'll play it because it'll get him closer to a worse shuffle. 2 Wolves and a Tactician collide. Not great, not great. But I'm going to play the Tactician in the hopes to get up to Province here because I do have the points advantage. And if I could get the penultimate Province, that would be great. And I have it in hand already just to see if I could get something alongside it. Or maybe set up with some caravans and a wharf or so. So 6, my opponent thinks for some time here, maybe considering gold over duchy because they are close to a reshuffle. Eventually they decide on the duchy. So here I'm able to play the Wharf and potentially the Sea Hag, but he just shuffled, and I don't think the Sea Hag will get him to the... I believe the game will end too fast for the Sea Hag to cause another reshuffle. So to avoid getting rid of a bad card from the top of his deck, I do not play the Sea Hag in this instance, and instead go just end my actions, picking up a province and an estate. So with the 2 points advantage from the curses, plus this estate, that turns into 3 points, which is a convenient number in Dominion here because of duchies being 3 points. So I could buy another estate and now have a point advantage if we are tied somehow. This is quite lucky draws at the end here, allowing me to get back-to-back wolves and also a province. And my opponent, after this turn, resigns here. I guess they drew into rubbish and decided to resign. So that's the end of game 1, and thank you for watching.